And welcome everybody back to the Games Tavern. It has been a little while since we've been here at Dirty Deeds, but we are finally back from the holidays. Ran into a few technical glitches for about the last half hour or so, but we've been working through it. We finally got things figured out, and here we are now live. So this is your first time catching us here on Twitch. Make sure you follow. It helps us try to figure out and fight these goblins and stuff that keep messing things up on us. But you can also catch us on YouTube. All of our videos, I think, mostly have been caught up now on YouTube. We may have a couple more that still need to drop, but you can go back and catch up on all the action that's taken place up until this point here. And we're going to get into where we're at here in just a couple of moments, as we just got a couple of quick reminders for everybody now that we're back after the new year.
Yeah, new reminders or old reminders. So remember, if you have Amazon Prime, that you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. If you go down to the link below and click on subscribe, you can use that to subscribe for free, and you have to re-up that every month. And your support really helps us. It helps our tech goblins in the background. It helps all of our shows. Helps us keep engaging and bringing new stuff out. So if you can, and you've got that Prime Gaming subscription, click the button.
Also, in last year and in New Year and in all years, thank you to Shard Tabletop for sponsoring the show. You can follow our link in chat and check them out for yourself. They are the best place to play all your games that you need a virtual tabletop for. You can access rules and adventures and other supplements. It also provides digital tools like character builders and digital character sheets that are all customizable. And also tools that you can use in game, both for DMs and for players. The spell tokens tool is very, very nice for your play when you're playing a caster. We think so highly of it that it is the official VTT of the Games Tavern. So follow our link in chat and use our promo code TGTShard20 and save 20% on all subs.
What's that? How much?
It's a 20%. It's a big old
20%.
20%.
20?
It's 20.
Streamloots.
That's a 20.
Streamloots is live at the Games Tavern. Follow the link in chat to pick up your Games Taverns packs. These cards can be utilized to help out the characters of the show with things like inspiration for the entire party, granting a luck point for a player, or other collectible cards. There's also a card to grant inspiration to the DM, but can you not? Thanks.
Oh, come on. I mean, sometimes I need a little bit of help too. I mean, it's not like I torture you guys or anything. I haven't done a TPK before or anything like that. Or maybe I did, sort of. But with that being said, prior to this reunion in the year of 2023, our adventurers here have spent the last several adventuring weeks in the city of Sharn, also known as the City of Towers. Once the home to one of their party members, Ro, who, after dealing with some family drama and maybe a little Rakshasa infestation in the area, decided that she needed to take some time to help get her family back on track. With her father long dead, her mother hospitalized due to being imprisoned in a chest for a couple of years, and her brother only being the age of 15 at the moment, they need a little bit of help. So she decided to stay behind for now. As she watched the rest of her, and I think the appropriate term is family, as you guys have been together for quite some time now, as she watched you all depart, however, on your airship heading to the skies, she relinquished being captain of the ship to Halceris. She noticed something as the ship was off in the distance. Some sort of figure, cloaked, almost disguised, crawling on the outside of the ship. She did set off a few of her Eldritch Blasts, trying to see if she could get any attention, but you guys were already far beyond the point of that having any way of notifying you. But that's where we are, up in the skies of Corvair, heading away from the troubles in the city of Towers. Having destroyed the creation forge that was there per part of your mission that you have with the 12, dealing with the Boromars and trying to sneak around them and get away with a few things there. The skies are now yours. So, Captain, where are you all heading?
I believe that we are heading back towards New Seer before we make our way possibly back into the morning. So
Okay, so I do have the map out here in front of you. So you guys are currently located there, so which means you're going to be heading off in a east by northeastern direction towards where your adventure started. So long ago, to the small little city of New Seer. As you take to the skies, it's a beautiful day. It's about mid-afternoon, maybe 1 o'clock or so, because you all had a few errands and stuff that you wanted to run before departing. And right now, it's nothing but clear skies and a nice warm breeze blowing in your hair. What do you all wish to do while you're in the air? The various different shipwrights are going around doing all their different things. You got your whole crew with you, all back off of their shore leave. The day is yours.
I think for the first hour or so, I think after we departed, I go and relieve the if either of the twins are at the helm, I will take the helm for a little bit, just because I like to get reacquainted with my ship.
Okay. You go and grab the Wheel of Wind and Water, the magical item put onto all these airships and a lot of the boats from House Lorander out in the water that allow you to control the direction that the elemental that powers your ship brings you. And it's just memories wash back to you. Some good, some saddened. Memories of you and your wife flying through the air kind of wash back over you. While you're doing that, Echo, what are you doing?
Low-key sulking, but also I'm probably gonna, I mean, Househair seems busy, but I'm probably gonna go up to him and kind of like ask him what activities or responsibilities can I take on to be more proactive on this ship? Like kind of find a way to distract myself from feeling sad.
By all means.
So
I mean,
but does he look like he's in a moment? Because I don't want to disturb him if he's like in this headspace.
Oh, you go.
Echo, hello. Sorry, I was a little lost in thought. How are you?
I could be better, but I kind of wanted to be captain, but I understand why it had to be you. Like you got the experience and stuff, so I just want to ask if you could take me under your wing and show me how to do ship stuff.
I mean, of course. It is good to
call it a little internship, if you will.
Internship. I don't have any spells that deal psychic damage, but I'm sure that is. Yeah. Of course. Are you looking to sorry, I did not know you had the interest in shipwriting. Or is it something in particular you are wanted to be involved in?
No, I feel like I don't know much about flying a ship or anything, and I feel like if we were in some sort of pinch and everyone else's hands were tied, it might be useful for me to know what to do. So figured I'd ask.
Sure. Of course. These are specialty flying ships like these are the main export of House Lyrander. Helps them have the corner on the market of shipping. It is a little more free than the locomotives. They're not as you're not tied to the track, but both use elemental engines, much like Steel's horses. So we are actually powered by a wind elemental.
Do we know who it like what its name is? Like, could we communicate with it?
I believe Gale is the name, and we could, were we so inclined.
I mean, just so we're on its good side.
Of
'Cause I know Ignar wasn't super happy, so if we're buddied up with the elemental, just it might be in our favor, you know.
Sure. Yes. Perhaps later on, while we are not in transit, we could arrange a bit of a meeting,
Sure.
little Gab session, or to talk. But yeah. So it is. They actually, and so House Eris will start walking, kind of like, he'll give the helm back to the twins and
Okay.
go kind of like a little bit of a walk around. Just, I think it starts off just trying to be informative, but then it is essentially like when you start geeking out. So it is a lot of how Saris is rambling on a little bit. So he goes around to the wood and say, like, this wood is actually neutral, is actually buoyant in and of itself. It is lighter than air. It is a very strict timber. So all the propulsion that is used in the ship is for propulsion to move it around. It does not have to waste on keeping itself aloft.
I want to pull out like a notepad and a little thing and I start taking notes because half of this is going over my head.
Okay.
But you see like a twinkle in my eyes as I'm like an awe of how Sarah's just like explaining, and clearly he's really passionate about it. So I'm just like trying to soak in as much as I can.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And this, and I spend probably longer than is necessary just like going through and combing like the different parts of the ship. Like, probably spend a little bit longer on the engines than necessary. But then, like, yeah, so like how this ship is different and similar to seafaring vessels, and that's how Lyrander started, was cornering the market on seafaring.
Okay.
And then how we used water elementals to power our elemental galleys. So giant ships that were moved through the water, and then air elementals to move the sails. And so then it wasn't until it was the Valinar is the forest that I believe the trees are found in.
Yep.
And they only export a very small amount. So Lyrander, the wood that they can get is powered into these ships.
Okay. So while you're walking around with Echo, kind of showing her the different stuff, you're starting to get excited about it, kind of forgetting some of the stuff that's taking place in Sharn and some of the memories of your wife and flying. You catch a very faint glimpse, with your passive perception of 19. You kind of catch a little fleck of orange kind of washing over Echo's scales. Just a slight change in the coloration.
What color did you say?
Orange.
I keep it to myself. I just note it in my memory.
Okay. So while you two are going around just looking at the various things, you got a lot of these shipwrights you guys have. They start to chime in too. They step in here and there and they show a lot of the different little things.
Yep, I'm like, if you want to aspire to be captain one day, you must be able to fill in at any position that is open in the ship. You must have full working knowledge of everything.
All right. So
Is
while
there
you
gonna
guys,
be a quiz or a practical of sorts?
It would be cheating to tell you, no?
Okay.
so on that note, Echo, I want you to remember that you have gotten yourself advantage for something that may or may not come up later. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
While you two are going around doing your various things, Steel, what are you doing now that you are back up in the air?
I am mostly tinkering. However, I will also be spending some time on the deck playing fetch with my new Drake companion and my dog. So I'm gonna grab like a wrench or something from my workshop and take it out on the deck and get Ursula out and throw it to the other side of the deck. Have her run after it.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check real quick.
Okie dokie then. Let's get that. Not great. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my my little inspiration from the last session.
Yep.
I think it was.
So it looks like everybody has a point of inspiration from last session.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab that.
Okay. Okay. So a 19.
19. Yeah.
All right. So as you're kind of fumbling through your workshop to gather some of your stuff for that, you get a sense of something arcane. Your hand kind of almost brushes across it as you're digging through all your stuff. And you come across the scale that you guys had picked up during the meteor shower while you were flying. And you notice that there's a little bit of arcane energy coming from it that wasn't there before.
I will inspect it before we run out.
Yep. So as you start to kind of look it over and you're trying to understand what's going on, you notice that it now has the ability to cast a certain spell once per day. I'm trying to. Why is it not showing up for me here?
Odaluk's resilient sphere.
Yeah. Yes. So you get the sense that for some reason, as you guys have been adventuring, the bond with this scale that you found seems to be getting stronger. And it now allows you to utilize that once per day. Was it once or did I put it for 3 times? I think it might have been once.
Find out when he casts it, I guess.
Yeah.
There will be reading done and we will find out.
Yes, we will double check with that. But yep. So and so you're playing fetch with your new companion and your old companion Biscuit, as well as just doing a little bit of tinkering here and there. Any particular project you're working on other than checking out this scale?
As I have been trying to work on, I'm going to continue to try to perfect my when we were talking about replacing Echo's dad's prosthetics.
His leg, right? Yep.
Oh yeah, and I'm working on both an arm and a leg prosthetic of a higher quality than what we had before.
Okay.
Focusing primarily first on an arm, and then I'm going to work on upgrading the leg prosthetic.
Okay. So you just continue to work on that stuff. stepping out every once in a while. You see how Sarah's kind of walking around on the deck, pointing stuff out to Echo. And you see Echo there just diligently taking notes in her little notepad. All right. While all this is going on, Taryn, what are you and Olana, your daughter, doing?
I guess Alana would go back to whatever Shipley duties that she signed on for the time being, for right now at least. And currently, I'm brooding. Just looking, just in just in the spot, in my usual spot, just looking off into the distance, just dramatically. Right now.
Give me an insight check real quick.
12.
Okay. The hair on the back of your neck kind of sticks up a little bit, but you just kind of brush it off like it's probably the wind or something. A cool breeze that just blew by you. All right. So, as you guys can travel on for the day, doing your various different, doing your various different tasks and stuff like that, the sun starts to go down, and evening begins to take over. What do you all plan on doing throughout the night here?
I believe it's probably best for like if there's we've traveled in the ship before, so is it a rotating staff of people at the helm, or is it just okay?
Yeah. So the twins kind of rotate and take turns.
Perfect. Okay. So
for those of you who aren't familiar with the staff and the twins we're talking about, go back and check some of those earlier episodes, because some family members of House Harris's,
some kids who can't keep their mouth shut.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So I will kind of I'll make sure we have kind of watches on rotation, just because after the attack from the Warforged that were flying, it's never, you're safe in the air but never fully safe, so
right.
And we'll have a consistent guard up with the two my two creations, because they don't require the same amount of rest.
So then I would say in our captain's quarters area that if we all want to make it just like a family chore thing, I don't think we ever cleaned out our new chest dungeon thing.
No.
That is...
You have not yet.
Yeah, so it's plenty filthy.
Yeah, and if I remember, I think there's still a couple bodies down there.
Yeah.
So that's another one you guys can go back and check out too, this little fun chest that they found.
A chest that could be our new mobile home. But I think House Harris is going to spend some of the evening hours, after dinner and whatnot, before bed, going through kind of just almost like an assessment, okay, this shit's going to take a while. This is... what are we going to need to do? Debating on whether it'll be easier for him to just, cast a bunch of, water into it and then dump it over the side.
Yeah, and it would be a lot of water required for that.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of thing where you would probably want to put it under a large lake and open it.
Just let it fill.
Watches the lake kind of slowly drains a bit.
You actually form a maelstrom and...
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hate when we do that.
Okay. So, I mean, the first half of this, last half of this day and the evening go by very quiet and calm. As you look out, you see a couple ships every once in a while fly by that are coming into dock and Sharn or departing, heading off in various different directions. And the first night goes by quiet and uneventful. Next day comes around and it's just more of the same. Anything special you all want to try to do on this next day?
Day 2 is going to be taking a full inventory of our cooking wares. See what kind of delicacies we picked up, because we did have a couple of restock necessities. Yep. So I'm going to do some of that, and I'm gonna summon Cafe, and we're gonna make some. We're gonna open up the tea bar for the afternoon.
Okay.
Make some herbal teas. Since I've got my handy spice pouch, we're making some kick-ass chai.
Okay. The crew love it. Like between Cafe, Ursula, and Biscuit, they're used to Biscuit, but now all of a sudden you come back with Ursula. I don't know if the crew has actually seen Cafe before.
He has been on the ship previously.
He has been.
For a little bit on the last run.
Okay. Yeah.
Although it's more like Steel comes up with another mechanical thing, and it's just like, yeah, another one.
Yep. Steel and his menagerie, as always. So as you go through this day, and again, all is calm and quiet until you get to the evening. Halceris, as you kind of look off in the distance, the direction you're headed, you see what looks to be storm clouds coming. And it seems to just kind of spread across the whole sky.
Now, as a sky-faring sort of person, Halceris would probably know whether it's better to just like land a ship, or is it better to try to like go up and over, or is it better to try to like fight through it? Like what would my seafaring instincts tell me?
So you're quite familiar with many of the ships actually going through storms pretty easily. A lot of times, especially with the airships, sometimes you can actually get up and over the clouds. So it's your call on how you want to try to approach this. But you do see that it spreads quite a ways across the horizon.
Yeah, there's no way to go around it.
Right.
Unless we... Yeah, okay. So I'll give the order for... everyone be sure to batten down all hatches. It appears we might be approaching a storm. I want all mooring lines secured. Anyone who is on top deck during watches, be sure you are attached. Make sure we are going in pairs, so in case anyone goes over, call for help. But yeah, basically like the whole, we'll go through the storm, but we're gonna batten down everything.
Yeah, so the crew all starts to get things together and ready. Echo, you're going around helping them, I'm guessing? Starting to tie stuff down and all that. All right. A couple hours goes by and the rain starts to come down, very light at first. And then off in the distance of where you're headed, you see flashes of light every once in a while in the clouds. And you hear the distant sound of thunder. And so one of the twins piloting the ship kind of brings it up a little bit more, trying to see if they can get a little bit above the clouds. But the clouds don't seem to be disappearing or dissipating at all. And the rain starts to get heavier and stronger. And the lightning starts to flash and get worse. What are you all doing? So we'll start with you, Echo.
I will look to the captain because I don't know what we're supposed to do in this sort of situation. This,
Well, I think
this is why I'm the apprentice. I'm the intern. You can't ask me.
Okay.
Well, because I think probably at this point you said it's the evening, so
Yes.
unless someone is like on duty, like it's just everything below decks is still kind of as usual. So
Okay.
supper and whatnot, but I think Halceris is definitely in the helms room, I guess, keeping eyes on everything,
Okay.
just on the storm.
At this point, a large gust of wind hits the side of your ship, and it lurches probably 15 to 20 feet to the left. I need everybody to give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Woof. Nope, that's a 6.
All right. So Halcera's got a 6. Like Steel got a 12. Echo and Taryn.
Do I have danger? Like, does danger sense count for
That
this?
20.
For this, no,
But why?
because you didn't see it.
8. That's a point. Oh, it's only for things I can see. Never mind. I can't
Yeah.
sense it.
Yeah, no, because this just kind of came out of nowhere. All right, so it looks like
Damn. A nat 20 and
Taryn
an
got
18.
a nat 20, and Echo got an 18. So you both managed to kind of grab something and steady yourself. The rest of you all get knocked prone on the ship.
Sure.
And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage just from getting knocked around. And then you just notice the winds are just, your ship is lurching 15, 20 feet to the left, to the right. You're going up 20 feet. You're dropping down 50 feet. The ship is just violently being shaken all over the place.
Mhm.
What are you guys
I'm gonna-
doing?
I'm gonna take the helm.
Okay. So you're running up to take the helm. Steel, what are you doing?
I and my menagerie are going to probably just find a place and lash ourselves to something internal, far from the sides, because we are not. Yeah, I'm not letting my 2 metal creatures stand. They're
Okay.
not super dexterous.
So you're just trying to secure yourselves to the ship. You're not assisting
Yes.
the crew with anything.
I assume the crew has it unless I get an order from the captain.
Okay.
Or I see something, unless I see like our crew, like like somebody fell or there's a problem. Like I'm just gonna keep an eye out. I have a couple spells at the ready in case I need to stop people from falling overboard.
Okay, so when you say so you're trying to get to the center of the ship, lashing yourself there, not within the ship.
No, we're not. No, not. No, I'm in the. We're on the top deck, watching and preparing.
Okay. Taryn, what are you and Alana doing?
Just kind of running around the ship, making sure things are tied down. People are getting to. Just making sure everything's tied down and no one's actually going overboard, and
Okay, so
making sure
you're-
everyone's.
So you're assisting with tying things down and keeping things. Okay. Echo, what are you doing?
I was going to do the same thing, and if anything looks like it's like shifting too much, then I probably like secure it so it doesn't like move or like crush someone in the process.
Okay. And then how Sarah's, you're just taking the helm.
Yep, I'm gonna try to use a little more of my experience to try to like steady, try to ride the wind.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start since you are trying to pilot the ship. So this is basically going to be a series of checks right now to see how well you guys maintain the control of the ship in this, what almost like hurricane force winds hitting you at this point. So Halceris, I need you to give me a athletics check.
Athletics.
Because the wheel is violently jerking. You're trying to hold the wheel.
Sure, but with the wheel of wind and water, because it's like psychic link, can I maybe use my will to like try to ride into the winds.
I will let you do. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because it's not a hard wheel that I'm fighting.
Okay,
It's
I'll let you do straight wisdom.
Okay. I'm gonna guide my ass too. Right. Wisdom plus a D4. 13.
Okay, so with a 13, the wheel gets jerked to your left, and the whole ship turns sideways about a 45-degree angle to the left. Steel, as this happens, you see one of the crew members slide to the railing, hit the side of the railing, and start to tumble over.
Does he have more line attached to him?
He does not.
I gave an order.
Not following orders, bad boy. Okay, let's see here.
Remember going overboard?
Mm-hmm.
For this one, is he going overboard, or like does he look like
He just hit the railing and he's starting to fall overboard.
Okay. I'm going to, if he's got hold of the rail, I'm going to cast Levitate.
Okay. So you cast Levitate on him?
I cast Levitate.
Can I help out with that?
Actually, no. I'm gonna use Featherfall instead. That's a lower level. I'm gonna save the big guns for later. I reaction cast Featherfall.
Okay, as a reaction, you cast Featherfall on him, and he still tumbles over.
Can I swing out and like catch him?
So you're trying to swing out?
Well, I was gonna say just toss him a line. He's very slowly dropping. If he's not holding on to anything.
Yeah. The idea was I have the line attached as I was running around, so I just kind of ride the wind. And just
Arrow Flynn style,
yeah.
Just swing out. Hell yeah.
Okay, so you are literally holding the rope, trying to swing out on the rope to grab him.
Yeah.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Let me. Can I use it inspiration? I'm just gonna use it.
You do have your point of inspiration. You can
because that is just ridiculous. Got 9.
All right. So, Steel, as you cast Featherfall on the guy falling over, you see out of the corner, Tavern comes swinging by on a rope, and you see the rope slipping out of his hand. As the rope comes loose of Tavern's hand, and Tavern is now free falling off the side of the boat.
Oh, I thought he said he was attached.
I said it, but yeah.
Well, no. So you have one attached to your.
Yeah, the more lines. I had it attached. I was just using the momentum of the wind to try to,
Okay.
swoop him up.
You missed the guy then.
Missed him.
Yeah.
You miss him completely, and the guy just starts to slowly fall.
I
send. The clouds.
I have Cafe grab a more line and deliver it to the slowly falling gentleman because he's falling at like it's 5 foot per round. So
yeah, he's falling slowly. The ship is moving forward still.
But it shouldn't exceed his fly speed, which is I think is a 40. I'll double check it real quick.
Yeah, what is his speed?
30-foot flying speed, so he could dash 60 feet in a round. And I don't know how fast we're specifically moving
Is it
in that
50?
time frame.
50, yeah.
So he should be able to keep up with the differential there, and he's just gonna gently toss a mooring line at this guy and let him reel himself in.
Okay.
Or at the very least, he will be very gently.
He will be
keel halt.
Heel hauled. Yep. In a storm.
Okay.
No, we'll fix that.
So
once he's on the line, I will assist him in getting back up.
So I was gonna be doing the same thing that Tyrion was doing, but I was also gonna making sure if there's any like equipment that's loosened or kind of like rolling around, or if there are any crew members that are at risk of being crushed by heavy machinery or equipment, then I would like push them out of the way, or like get out of here, save yourself, that kind of thing.
So as the ship rights itself back up and then starts to lurch the other direction, you do see a large crate snap loose from some of its ropes and start to slide on the deck towards a group of 2 crew members
Watching in slow motion.
who are currently trying to secure another rope that came loose.
Can
as
Biscuit
you-
also join in
Well, no.
attempting to stop this?
So you said you lashed them to the middle, right?
I lashed myself. I wasn't sure. Sure.
Okay.
I didn't know how much time we had to lash 3 people to the
Yeah.
to the mast.
So, Echo, what is you're making the dash towards them? What are you gonna do?
Is there anything on the crate that I can like pull and like kind of hold it?
So there is still some netting and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try and stop the crate before and like warn the people that it's right in front of.
Okay,
Like, move
so
out of the way.
You go out, you grab hold of the ropes. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics. Let's go. Come on. Oh, that's really bad. 12.
Okay,
You've
you
also got a
grab
point
it.
of inspiration.
You do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Please be good. An 18. That's what
Okay, so with an 18, you grab it, and it starts to slide forward, and you just dig your heels into the deck, and you pull it to a stop. About 2 feet before it hits the back of these 2 crew members.
I'll be like,
And then the
"Please
ship
just
kinda
don't
comes-
stand there. Move out of the way.
Well, they just kind of look back and go, holy crap. They hurry up, tie that off, and then they get out of the way. Halceris, we're back to you with another attempt to get this ship under control.
Can I do like a perception check to see if I can, like, the rain is falling and everything, and only because I have a little ability called like Windwright's intuition and whatnot. Can I try to like see if I can, like, looking forward at it, can I like gauge a trail that might lead us through?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say that's probably gonna be insight.
Insight? Okay. Insight into the storm. Guide
Yeah.
myself again. 23?
Alright. And you use guidance, so you get the +4 or D4.
26.
So for 26, you kind of looking really quick after that last jolt that you had. You're looking around and you kind of start to sense the way the wind is whipping through this, the different shifts back and forth, and you're able to kind of steady the ship going forward a little bit.
I'm a feather on the wind. Watch me fly.
So Steel, you look, and Cafe's finally got the rope to the one man, and you just see him just kind of hanging almost towards the back of the boat now, holding the rope slowly, trying to pull himself forward. Is there anything else you wish to do to try to help this individual?
I mean, I can't probably reach him in that time frame. How far away is he right now?
Probably about 50 feet from you.
That's okay. I'm just gonna keep an eye on him, and I mean, can Cafe do anything to help him pull? Let me see what Cafe's strength is. I'm just curious. Hold on. Yeah, he's got a -3 on his strength. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, so Cafe's kind of struggling with the wind and everything right now, as it is.
No, Cafe is going to return to me, and I'm just going to keep an eye on him, on the guy, and watch in case he does slip. I'm also going to like try to yell at him to tie himself up, like do a one-handed bowline sort of deal. Get that done.
So, looking at this guy, he's using every ounce of strength he has right now, just to hold onto the rope. Like he barely just really quick reaches forward and grabs a little bit. If he stopped to try to tie himself off, he would probably end up falling or losing his grip.
With that perception check of mine, can I see if we're close to the eye of the storm?
No. You don't really see an eye of the storm for some reason, at where you're at. Tavern. So you see this guy still struggling as well to try to pull himself in. Is there anything you're gonna do?
Could I? Sorry.
Yep.
Could I switch out and could I get a more line on myself and go after him?
Yeah.
Can I do that for me and Biscuit, and I'll leave Ursula to keep an eye on things over here?
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So you go ahead and get the more.
We'll go try to. Yeah, we'll tie ourselves off and then head to the back of the boat.
Okay. So you guys get yourselves tied off to some more lines. You get to the back of the boat. Taryn, you're still connected to your more line.
Well, I was about to ask you how far he is because I was gonna dive off the side to go get him.
So he's not off the side of the ship.
He's in the back.
Off the back. Yeah, he's kind of being towed right now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna dive off the back to go get him. So
Okay, so you're gonna throw yourself out into the wind.
Yeah. Let's strategically, dive out, try to go grab that guy.
Okay, so you throw yourself off to the wind. He goes out. You tied your own more line, right?
Yes, yeah.
Give me an intelligence check for tying the knot, please.
Straight intelligence.
Or I'll let you use survival, actually.
Oh yeah, that's slightly better. What the hell is with these rolls? That's a 9.
All right, you jump out and you hit the edge of your rope just as you're right around where the guy is, and you feel the knot slipping.
How much time I got?
3 seconds.
I don't think I could tie a knot in 3 seconds.
What are you doing?
You in fact can, but you might have to do a knowledge check. I would say that.
Yeah,
because there's a simple trapper's knot for climbing called a one-handed bowline that is for this exact purpose.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna try to tie him up, try to get him tied.
Okay, so you're gonna try to tie off this guy.
Yeah.
So your knot is the one that's slipping.
I understand.
Okay. Okay, so you reach out, you grab his rope, and you start to tie him off. Give me an intelligence check for his knot.
Straight intelligence?
Or survival, sorry, survival.
13.
Okay. You get his knot tied off, and as you start to let go, you feel your knot completely slip off. You are no longer tied to your rope. What do you do?
So a few sessions ago, I did a little thing called stealing all of the Featherfall tokens.
You did grab a bunch of Featherfall tokens, yes.
So I'm gonna just use one of those.
Okay, as a reaction, you use your Featherfall token, but you're not connected to anything. The ship's going forward. You're falling downward. Okay. Right.
Seeing as I get to the back of the ship and see his dummy, I'm gonna cast Vortex Warp, and I'm gonna put him back on the middle of the ship, directly in front of Ursula.
Okay. I love that spell. Vortex Warp is a fun spell. Okay.
And I'm gonna command Ursula to grab like his belt and hold him. She's gonna grapple Tyrion.
Okay. So Taryn, as you activate the token, you feel the lightness start to take you, and you see everything going forward in front of you. All of a sudden, you're on the ship, and Ursula's got hold of your belt.
So I crash into the ship because I assumed a position to free fall. So I just crash into the deck.
All right. Echo. You got that one crate stopped. You don't see other crates right now falling anywhere. The ship's pretty steady. What are you doing?
Is there any other sort of signs of danger or anyone else that needs help?
You see a couple people, you see a couple of the crew members struggling to pull a rope down to tie it off.
I will go assist them.
Okay. Give me athletics with advantage.
Ooh, let's go. I mean, 25?
25. So, using the knowledge that you got from Halceris as he kind of walked you around, showing you what was going on, you just go walking right up. You almost push them aside, grab the rope, pull it down, and you tie it off like an expert sailor.
Did Halceris mention any fun facts about the rope when he was?
I don't know, Halceris, did you?
I am not sure if it is the one used in this exact situation, but some of the fibers that are used in the sailing ship ropes are actually interwoven with a little bit of fine metal, because otherwise the ropes would oftentimes kind of float off the side of the ship. So it has to be a little bit heavier and a little bit sturdier.
Yep.
I was wondering if it's like anything I can anything that was so fascinating that I would recite as I'm tying. That's fine.
Okay. All right, Halceris, give me another check to control the ship.
Okay. Another insight check or another?
Wisdom.
Wisdom check.
Yep.
Again, guide myself, and can I direct the twins to basically just be on port and starboard and just calling out what they see, kind of basically giving me wider field of vision so I can kind of guesstimate what's happening.
I will give you advantage.
Advantage 21 plus the D4. 24.
24. Okay. Yeah, you're able to find some of the smoother winds. You're able to turn the ship just right to where the wind kind of helps take you forward. And you're cruising right through this storm as a bolt of lightning just strikes down and hits the center, almost the center of the deck. Nobody seems to get hurt yet, but Steel, that guy is still out there. He's tied off now.
So I'm going to have Biscuit grab him, and I'm going to assist Biscuit because Biscuit is a lot stronger than me. And we're going to try to pull this gentleman back onto the boat.
Okay, so Biscuit comes up, grabs hold of the rope, starts pulling with you right there, trying to assist him.
Yes. Do I need to roll anything for it?
Yeah, give me athletics for Biscuit.
Athletics for Biscuit. Give me a second.
And if anybody's curious about the story of this mechanical dog, Biscuit, you gotta go all the way back to episode 1.
And And does he have advantage with my assistance, or
yes,
2 weeks?
Yeah. No, you.
26.
Okay, you guys are able to pull him. He's now only about 10 feet off of the ship. All right, Taryn, you're currently you just got teleported to the center of the deck, and Ursula, you feel Steel's new machination just holding onto your belt in her jaws. What do you do?
Well, my mission was accomplished, so I'm gonna just continue doing what I was doing originally. I'm gonna try to. Well, first I gotta try to slip away from Ursula, and then I guess tie myself off again. Or I just want to make sure that everything's not all loose and people aren't going overboard.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Perception. I'm 14.
Okay. You look around and it looks like everybody's got everything under control. Echo, as the lightning strikes the deck, you see the wood in there start to kind of splinter a little bit.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
And that big heavy crate that you stopped before starts to slide, and you see it start to open the hole in the center of the ship. I guess it's about to fall through the top deck.
Oh no, I don't know what to do. Am I allowed to, like, if I push it out of the way, does it help or does that, like, increase the cracks? I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I don't physics.
So you see it sliding towards where the crack started, and you see the board starting to crack more.
I want to push it in, like, a different direction.
Okay, give me another athletics check.
Gosh. 18.
You go throw your shoulder into it, and you slide it off away from this, and it doesn't seem to be in danger of breaking through the top deck of your ship.
Is it possible to push it towards, like, the edge of a ship and, like, tie it down in a way so it just stays put?
Absolutely. You get it there, and a couple crew members come over to help you. Do you want to tie the knot yourself, or are you going to let them do it?
I will tie the knot myself.
Give me an intelligence check with advantage.
Okay.
Because, again, how Sarah showed you how to do this earlier.
That's 20. Make it happen.
At least 2 hours of that.
Yep.
Yes!
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
The
Manifested it. Thank you, Al.
two shipwrights there look at the knot you did. Look at you. Look at each other. Look back at you and like go off and start working on something else.
The 3 hours you spent listening to Hellsaris talk about knot tying was really effective.
You took some really good notes.
Yeah, I was like, who knew?
Well, welcome to today's Hal Talk.
All right, Halceris. At this point, the storm doesn't seem to be coming to an end at all. But you feel almost a warmth coming from your holy symbol, particularly from a small spherical item that you had attached to it.
The artifact. I pull it out.
What are you doing? You pull it out, and you see that small artifact glowing.
Severus, I could use any luck you can give.
As you say that, you feel a warmth radiate from it, and almost as if your eyes are opening for the first time. As this relic you have now allows you to use the spell True Seeing once per day. And you kind of blink real quick, and as you look, you open your eyes and look, you see a path through the storm.
Yeah, I think all of a sudden it's a lot like it goes from like white knuckle to relaxed on the wheel, and just kind of that little bit of like if you're really chill when you're driving and like you make a turn and you just let the wheel roll through your hand, it's a little bit of that, but it's like riding this curve through the wind, so it's like sliding it back and forth between my hands.
Okay. And it's almost like you're following a GPS in a way of. It looks like you should go straight, but then you kind of like nope, kind of veer off to the left a little bit, and lightning still starts striking all around you, but nothing seems to be hitting your ship now. And after about an hour, you feel the winds start to lighten up, and the thunder and the lightning gets further off behind you. About another hour, it's just a light rain. And then the storm starts to calm as you come out the other side of it.
Big size.
All right. At this point, the guy who went overboard comes up and just starts shaking your hand violently, Steel and Taryn. Just thanking you for not letting him make that long plunge.
I call all hands to top deck for reporting of any damage, anything that might have happened. But I want to specifically talk to this guy.
Okay. As you're doing that, Echo, a lot of the shipwrights that were on deck for this, they're all just coming up and patting you on the back. Like you're getting they just come walking by like, yeah, good job, and just like slap you on the shoulder.
I'll just kind of say, learn from the best.
All right, then so Halceris or Captain, you come up to the one guy. Hi, Captain. You wanted to see me?
Do I know this guy? Like, we hired these folks, but like...
Yeah, it's, his name is Marcus.
Marcus. Why were you not secured, Marcus? I gave an order for all bodies that were on top deck to be secured.
I secured myself, Captain, but then I was working on one thing and it slipped off. I must have not tied my knot right, and then I just didn't think of tying myself back off. I was busy trying to secure the deck, Captain. I'm sorry, Captain. Won't happen again, Captain. Won't happen again.
And then I turn to the crew and say, I am happy that it appears we have made it through relatively unscathed. But know that, like in the sea, there's treacherous here in the open storms. It is dangerous. People can go flying off the ship. I will not risk the safety of the crew for one person who goes off.
Hi, Captain.
And I just, like, so I'm trying to put on my little air of, like, authoritative in this power position. And so, I'm going to use a little bit of extra theatrics. So what I'm going to say is, and if anyone thinks that it is a good idea to not follow one of my orders, is it a good idea not to follow an order from your captain? I yell it out into the air, and I will cast Consult the Storm. So this residual, like, the clouds behind us, like, we're kind of through it, and I choose a spot a little ways away. This is from our friends at Cobalt Press. Thank you, Cobalt Press. But I ask a question of an entity connected with storms, such as an elemental, a deity, or a primal spirit. And the entity replies with destructive fury. Basically, it calls down lightning at a point I choose, and it answers the question.
Okay.
The thunderous boom is heard 600 feet away, and
where do you wish to call it down?
Basically off the side of the ship. So it's basically somewhere down off the earth, but just so that thunder is heard, and it gives a little extra oomph to my words.
Go ahead, give me, I'm guessing, intimidation with advantage.
Advantage. 21.
Okay. Yeah, everybody jumps at this. Hi, Captain. Yes, Captain. You just get a whole echo of that coming from the whole crew.
From behind Houseris, there's the little clacking of claws, and then another loud crack of lightning.
Okay, from Ursula.
From Ursula, yeah. As Ursula sees the light, she thinks you're playing, so.
Fair.
I pet Ursula, but then my first thing is to the hull of the ship, and I'm talking with the shipwrights.
Yep. And a couple of them, they start getting to work right away on the repairs and stuff like that. The rest of the crew start going around and doing their checks and everything. Echo, what are you doing now that the crowd has kind of dispersed?
I'm just gonna kind of follow behind Houseris and be like, do you need anything else?
No. But was I able to see the stuff that was happening on deck from the vantage point of the helm?
You were pretty focused on controlling the ship.
Roger.
Of course you wouldn't see it. Okay.
Well,
I was wondering. So I'm talking with the shipwrights. Do any of them relay Echo's actions?
Oh yeah. You hear all the stories of what happened.
I'll say. I think you have done more than your fair share. Go and get yourself some rest and something to eat. I will handle from here.
Aye, Captain. No, I'll like scamper off.
All right. And the rest of this day goes by pretty calmly as they get to repairs in the ship and all that. Evening comes, the night goes, and the next day dawns. As you guys are having your morning breakfast, however, you hear on the door of your cabin.
Mentor.
I keep wanting to say Captain Richter, because he's not captain anymore. Richter comes in. He's like, "Hi, Captain. We seem to have some sort of something going on down in the cargo hold."
Some sort of something.
Yeah, the crew are down there doing checks, just checking on all our cargo, and they're hearing strange noises down in the cargo hold. And Port Marcus here. Come here, lad. And you see the same guy who fell overboard comes in holding his hand, where you now see what looks to be his pinky and his ring finger on his right hand missing.
Has he been wearing a red shirt this whole time?
No. But he is wearing a bandage around his hand that does seem red and soaked with blood. Captain, I was down there. We heard some like chittering noises and some scratching, and as we were looking around, found a few dead rats and stuff. I heard something. I reached in between a couple of the crates, and something bit my 2 fingers off.
That is terrible.
Do we all hear this? Because should all be
you guys.
We're at the room.
You guys are like having your morning breakfast when this comes up.
Maybe we'll go investigate. Me and the menagerie. We can go check it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like there is much else going on. I think we could all take a look. I'd like to know if there's some sort of infestation.
All right.
I will take a minute to look at Richter's hand, just with my medicine knowledge, to just be like.
So It's not Richter's hand.
Oh,
Marcus
Richter,
is the one-
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yep.
Right,
so-
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and give me a medicine check.
12.
So looking at it, you see what looks to be maybe some sort of bite or something. It looks like something bit onto it and ripped his fingers off.
Okay. So not like a clean cut. It was a tear.
No, it wasn't a clean cut. It was like almost looks like some sort of animal bite.
I look at Richter. There were no animals on the manifest, yes?
Not that I'm tracking, Captain.
All right. And I will expend I'll put a hand on Marco's hand and use a healing word.
Okay.
I say, do not worry, we will avenge your fingers. But go ahead and get this cleaned and checked out by the ship doctor.
Yeah. So you can tell that he's already been to somebody who, because they did a pretty good job bandaging it up, and it was about time for the bandages to get changed again because it was bleeding
Through.
quite a bit.
Yeah. So hopefully, just like a 6 points will just like stop it up.
Yeah. So I mean, it stops. The bleeding stops, and I mean they had already kind of done a little bit with that, but it was still kind of raw because it appeared to have happened just recently. I'm also
going to tell him to stop by the workshop when you're free from duties or something later. And we'll see about finding you something to replace those.
That would be great. All right. And so all of you are going to go down to the cargo hold, or?
I think it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
All right. So as you all head down there, we are all going to head and top off our waters and stuff. We're going to take a short break here so we can recover stuff, and then we're going to just be right back, see what's going on in the cargo hold in just a few short minutes. All right, everybody, and welcome back. We had a chance to stretch our legs, top off our waters, and all that fun stuff. So now let's get back into the excitement as the crew, having just worked their way through a massive storm on their way through the skies of Corvair, their first mate, Richter, came to them saying that there was strange noises being heard from the cargo bay, and one of the crew members seems to have lost a couple of fingers to some creature or something within the cargo hold of their ship. So, being fun adventurers they are, they all decided we're going to go ahead and check it out. And that's where we left off as the crew now descends down into the cargo hold. It's a little smaller, narrower area than the rest of the ship, the other floors and levels of your ship, filled with different barrels and crates and boxes full of all the various foodstuffs, supplies, spare wood, nails, ropes, and all that you need to help maintain your ship while you are airborne throughout the skies. As you guys kind of approach down, you hear a little almost like a clicking noise.
Does it sound like?
That's always good.
Does it sound alive or does it sound mechanical / robotic? Like, what's the?
It sounds like something tapping on something.
Oh, I know, but like.
But it doesn't sound metallic. It doesn't sound metallic.
Okay. Oh my god.
What were you gonna say, Steel?
I was gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and just for the hell of it I'm gonna cast see invisibility.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have the trifecta do a search. So I'm gonna send Ursula around the left side. I'm gonna send Biscuit around the right, and I'm gonna send Cafe over the top of a bunch of the stuff in here.
Okay. So
and just tell them to alert if they see something.
Okay. Taryn, what are you doing?
You said that it's tapping?
Yeah, you hear like a little, almost like tapping.
I tap back. See if it responds to it.
I'll be like, hello?
Okay.
I tap back.
We
The
got
tapping
a friend.
stops instantly.
Oh.
To my tapping or to the hello?
To both. As soon as like you guys start to make noise, it stops. What are you doing, Halceris?
I'm going to. How big is this room that we're the hold that
So
we're in?
it goes the full length of your almost the full length of your ship. So probably because your lower levels, I'd say 60 feet long and maybe about 35 feet wide.
I'm gonna go ahead and just like, because I think Halceris is assuming this is probably like, because there are bigger rats that eat other rats, and things get into ships all the time. So Halceris is just gonna tap his shillelagh staff to the ground and activate it.
Okay.
Just so it's up. So it's like, watch your fingers and toes. Don't reach into anything blindly. And I guess if I'll just take to one side, I'll go left, looking along the wall that way.
Okay. So go ahead, everybody give me perception checks to include Cafe, Biscuit, and Ursula. So Halceris with an 18.
18. Not my best. Halceris thinks it's a rat, and he's like, I don't want to fucking deal with a rat. I don't want that.
Echo got a 15. Okay. So we got Steel with a 15 as well.
That's
That's
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
That's Biscuit.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see Biscuit. Okay, I see Biscuit on there.
Ursula doesn't have a rolling stat for that, so I guess it would just be flat. So hold on.
Yep.
Actually, my passive is higher than my active.
Same.
So
Very much
16.
same.
Okay. And yep. And so that
Steel.
19 is for you, Steel. Okay.
That is me.
All right.
And Ursula. And I don't think we have Cafe on the list right now. Oh wait, there he is. There he is. Hold on.
Yeah, we got a lot of people searching for whatever this is down here.
A lot of eyes, I guess.
So, most of you see, as you're kind of looking through, you see, as everybody starts going, a carcass of a dead rat. Or one of Echo, you actually find what looks to be a partially eaten carcass of a cat.
Okay, but who's eating everything? Or what's eating?
And then let's see, so the 19, that was you, Steel.
Correct.
You-
And I have see invisibility up.
Yep. So you kind of come around one of the crates, and you look down and you see what looks to be maybe a small little pile of fecal matter.
Do I see any trail?
You don't. But you all hear, coming kind of from the center within the crates, you hear a little scurry on the wood floor.
After it.
Tyrion, would it be possible for Elena to watch the door? Make sure it does not try to sneak past us.
All right. And yeah, and Alana just stands by the door.
Okay. What did the rest
Halcer's
of
is
you
gonna.
do?
I'm gonna smack the crates with my staff to try to spook whatever's in there.
Okay. Echo, what are you gonna do?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is there a way for me to? Yeah, can I like claw at it?
You want to claw just at one of the crates?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, claw it or like kick it down. See if there's. But is there anything else in the area? Like.
So there's a whole bunch of just crates and barrels and boxes and all sorts of stuff in this area. It's a lot of stuff, and there's just a lot of like the little like spaces.
But do
in
any of the
between all
crates
this.
have like holes or something? Because like clearly something would have had to sneak out to feed, and then.
So you don't
like
see
if
any
there's a
at the
break
moment.
anywhere.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see
you don't
anything.
Not at the moment, no.
Can I coordinate with my perception? Can I coordinate my crew to find out where the sound came from
Yeah.
and come at it from 3 sides?
So it came from somewhere within the middle.
Okay.
I've got the
I'm
east
gonna-
side covered. I'm smacking it.
I'll go over the top.
Biscuit's gonna come again from the left, and I'm gonna send everybody else to the right. And I'm gonna have Cafe do a flyover towards the middle as I like kind of just to be above me.
Okay. All right. So Echo, you're trying to just kind of scrape some of the boxes and stuff to try to see if you can.
Yeah,
get
I'm
it
gonna
to
try, but
react.
like, I'm still. Are you sure that? Not you sure. Like, are you sure that there's no like holes?
Are
or,
you
like,
sure? Are you
secret
sure?
entrance?
Not that you see at the moment, no.
There will be a hole once you scratch this one open.
Fine, I'll like start punching boxes. Be like,
You're gonna
"Yeah."
start punching boxes.
Echo, if
Hey.
you hit my ale, I swear. Echo.
I'll knock. Be like, is there liquid in here? Okay, I won't touch that one. Is
Okay.
that hollow? Okay, there might be something living in there. Kick it down.
I also have rice. If you ruin the rice, there will be no risotto this entire trip.
Oh no.
Yeah, you guys' risotto is pretty important. Okay. So as you all kind of fan out a little bit more and you're trying to pinpoint where this thing is, go ahead and give me perception checks again.
I guide myself. I'm just like, where the hell are you? Well, I don't think I'll need it, but all right, let's see if I break a 30. I did! 31!
Okay.
Give me sight beyond sight.
All right. So we got a 31 from Halceris. The menagerie didn't do all that great. Oh, okay. No, Biscuit got a 20. Okay. Tanner got a 12. Waiting to see what you got, Echo. So, you still with us, Echo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, need the perception check.
I thought I was doing strength with the. Sorry, my computer.
Well, so you actually scraped up and damaged the boxes.
Yeah,
a
my
bit.
perception's not good. I don't know why you keep asking.
Okay. Well, it's because you guys are trying to locate this thing.
Yeah. Are you sure there's no holes in the crates? I'm still looking for them.
Over the hole.
So, yeah, so you don't really catch anything. Taryn doesn't catch anything, but Biscuit kind of starts to growl a little bit towards an opening between a couple crates. Halceris, you kind of step up a little bit, and you see what looks to be a crate that had fallen over during the storm, and the whole side of it is broken apart and open.
Any markings on said crate that would identify anything?
There is no markings, which is actually unusual because pretty much everything in here is labeled.
Yeah.
You also notice, however, there are holes around what would have been the top of this crate or this box.
I believe someone gave us an unwanted gift.
Can I have Biscuit like open up the space between those crates? Can he shove one of the crates to the side?
Go ahead and have him give me an athletics check.
Okay.
This is why I have Biscuit with a 21.
So the 21, he starts to like work his head in there and starts to kind of use his little muscular metallic body to shift the crate side to side and work his way in. And then you guys all hear it at this point. You hear almost a deep chirping sound. I can't really do the sound, but you hear it almost sounds like a growl chirping kind of noise. Everybody go ahead, give me survival. I am gonna say, Echo, you have advantage on this. So Steel got a 16.
16.
Echo got a 15. Alcera's got a 14.
Is this to like identify what it might be?
Yeah.
Could I do history?
Or nature?
Because I would have been on. I've been around a little bit, so.
I would say nature more than history.
Could I do nature on this one?
Yeah, I'll let you do nature.
Jesus, that 20.
Okay.
28 with a nat 20.
Yep. Okay.
I'll stick
So-
with my survival then. My nature is I'm not as good at nature as I am at survival. So
Okay. So, Echo, this sounds very familiar to you. This sound, you've heard this sound a lot when you were growing up. Steel. It's not the same. It's a little smaller, but you heard this a lot when you guys were out and near Gatherhold. It is very, very reminiscent of the noises that were made by Clawfoot.
But it sounds like a very small claw.
It sounds like a very small, yeah, almost like it might be a baby.
I am going to I'm gonna take a gauntleted, gloved. I'll actually use my left hand. A gauntleted left hand. I will pull back one of the crate and slowly reach in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep opening it until I can. And I mean, I have dark vision, but I'm just gonna see what I can.
Okay.
Find.
As you start to reach in there, you hear the chirping almost getting louder. And now that you kind of have an idea of what it is, it sounds almost like the velociraptors from. It sounds like that kind of a chirping. You reach your hand in and you're kind of feeling around and you're looking. And then just kind of out of nowhere, you tink, something tinks against your gauntlet.
Does it hold?
No.
I'm gonna reach back and try to grab it.
Wait, let me try.
That's
Try.
Okay. Go ahead, give me an attack roll.
No.
Well, no, it's for grapple. It's for grappling.
It's it's a grapple check, right?
Yeah.
So is
Grapple.
that
I say an
That's-
attack roll because it's an attack roll.
Wait.
But
well, but it'd be athletics, right? In this case.
opposed athletics.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
your athletics, he's going to use his
Oh,
acrobatics.
acrobatics.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
acceptable.
Really? Okay. Yeah, as you kind of swing to go back, you feel like you grab hold of like a neck as you start as you feel like two claws, feet start almost like you see a cat does, starts hitting your gauntleted hand, trying to get itself free.
I'm gonna gently pull it out.
All right. As you all sit there and you hear this scraping on the gauntleted hand, you see you see Steel pull out what you now see is a baby Clawfoot, violently raking, not big enough really to cut through the gauntlets you have on, but just raking away at that, trying to free itself from your grip.
Oh shit!
Biscuit is immediately in smell mode. He is sniffing all the parts of this little thing.
Can I shift? I'm just gonna shift
Okay.
so I can like get its attention and maybe it'll see that I'm not its enemy if we kind of look alike. No scales.
Okay. So,
I'm
so
gonna-
you shift.
I'll gently set it on I'm gonna have one hand on the back of it, but I'm gonna gently set it facing you on one of the boxes.
Yeah,
that
and
it's
do you
a
have
little
any
bit
like?
under eye level.
Do you have any meat or? I mean, I know there's like carcasses.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But like
I-
anything
I-
kind of.
I pull like a half sheet of jerky out and I'm just hand it to you.
I don't know, like kind of. Does it see me? Is it locking eyes with me? Is
Well-
it like kind of?
Well, so do you let go, Steel?
I basically turn it around. I'm just holding it by its like back quarter, so it's probably trying to get around to me, but it still is faced at her.
Okay. So you're still kind of holding on to it, though.
A little bit, yeah.
All right. So it sits there and it's looking around like it's trying to find a place to run. And then it stops and stares right at you, Echo.
I'm gonna try with my eyes, because I've interacted with them. I should be able to properly communicate with my body language. Body language
Right.
communication.
Yep.
That I
Yep.
mean no harm and like it's a safe space, and I'll try and like give it the jerky.
Okay, so give me an animal handling check with advantage because you shifted.
Please. Oh. 23.
Okay, with a 23, it
Wow.
kind of leans down a little bit, not taking its eyes off you
That's
at
okay.
all.
Doesn't have to.
Just staring at you. Sniffs the jerky.
Okay.
And just starts tearing into the jerky.
Alright. Is it
Within 5 seconds, the jerky's
gone.
gone.
okay? I'm gonna ask for
And
another.
then it looks at you again.
Give me another one.
Yep, I hand you over some more.
Okay, and then I'm gonna be like trying to like toss it in the air so maybe it catches it with its mouth. So I know like you're free.
Okay.
You're not under my control. You're free to kind of like still be wild.
right.
Wait,
I'm
hold
gonna-
on.
No, like
Hold up.
I don't want it to feel like it's.
Okay, what were you gonna say, Steel?
I'm gonna keep a hand hovering behind it, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
I'm just touching it now. I'm not holding it tight since it seems to have calmed down a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just trying to. Yeah, so I'll like toss it so it's just like can grab it or gnaw on it instead of just like me feeding it, kind of.
So you toss it into the air, and it watches it, jumps up,
Okay,
starts tearing into it.
and then
While you're doing this, both of Ursula and Biscuit are watching you. Like they're just watching the meat like this.
And then the third one I'm gonna like reach out to like pet it, and then if it reacts properly, kind of feed it. So it's like positive reinforcement with my touch.
Okay,
Does it work?
give me another animal handling with advantage because you're in your shifted form, so you're kind of a little bit more.
Oh, okay. 19.
So as you reach out for it, it just kind of looks at you intently, kind of shies away a little bit, then kind of you go ahead and touch it.
Oh, yeah, I'm petting it, and then I'm gonna give it.
Yeah.
But like, I want it to get used to my touch, and
Yep. It
like
kind of
again
lowers its
recognize
head
that I mean no harm and only want to like protect it and keep it safe, kind of thing.
It lowers its head a little bit and allows you to
Okay.
gently just.
Do I know if it's a male or female?
So that would be a survival check, or no, I'm sorry, nature. I keep getting those two wrong. That would be a nature check.
Can I assist with that, or can I?
What experience do you have with Clawfoot?
I mean, okay, so I have a relatively high intelligence, so I've studied
That's
animals.
what I'm
You've never
smart.
been
I'm
around
looking
Clawfoot.
for some specific things when I'm looking to see what gender it is.
So I'm gonna say no. But you grew up around these, Echo.
Yeah.
So you know these pretty well, so you do have advantage. for
Okay,
that.
I have advantage. That's good.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, I kind of needed 6.
Okay, you can't quite. With it being a young one.
That's
it's
okay.
kinda
That's
hard
okay.
to-
I'll just call it Buddy. Can
Just
I?
like chickens when they're born, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways you can
totally
tell,
fine.
but it's
Can I pick it up
you
again,
go-
like leading it with the jerky,
ahead.
being like,
Okay.
Is it small enough to carry like this, or is it like
So
something
no,
bigger?
so this it is probably a little bit bigger than a cat. So there's probably about 15 to 20 pounds.
Okay.
I am going to grab a strip of leather and make. I'm gonna put a really small, like nothing major. I'm just gonna gently put a little leather leash over its head for a second.
Okay.
Just tighten it down just a little bit so it doesn't get completely free.
So you're trying to take some leather. You're trying to basically put it around there as like a leash.
I have a piece of jerky in my.
Oh yeah, I was gonna assist with the jerky. Actually, I'll be like,
okay, that's fine.
Focus on me.
Okay.
Don't worry about your surroundings. Like, it's
So
okay.
that is going to be Steel doing an animal handling check with
Analysis.
advantage. Yep.
That's a 16.
Okay. So with the 16, as you start to do it, it kind of snaps at you, but Echo is able to get its attention back real quick, and you're able to slip it around its neck.
And I'll make another loop at the other end and give it to Echo.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's. Is it the only one, or does it have friends?
Yeah,
This
that's
is the only
what
one we found.
Halceras this whole time. Has
Yeah,
been.
like, don't put your head in there. Like,
So, Halceras, seeing what came out, goes to the crate to try to get it upright to see exactly how big it was, but if it's able to be repaired. Like, is it just like a latch that's broken, or is it like a board missing?
No, so it looked like the crate had fallen onto its side during the storm, and it broke open one whole side of this crate.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like an actual cage for it or anything. It was just crated
It was
up.
in a box.
Yep.
How many times do we have to tell you not to ship these things this way, Echo? Come on.
Looking at the crate and the size of the thing, that this, like, all while they're feeding it, like, does this crate look like it could have fit more?
So judging by the size of this clawfoot and the size of the crate, you're pretty sure it was just the one. If there was a second one in there, it would have been a very cramped fit.
Sure. Then I will, knowing kind of the ship, I will look around for one of our crates that like has our rations or something in it. That's, you know, maybe like half full by this point or something. If there's some, basically getting a new crate to put it in.
Okay. Also though, so as you're looking at this crate, you see a folded up piece of paper stuffed underneath the hay that was lining the bottom of this.
God, is this who I think it was?
I will. I'll see it like as I'm unloading stuff, and I'll just because I'm like, this is a wild animal on my ship. I got to take care of this. Tavern, there appears to be something in the hay. You look at it for me.
Yeah, I go grab that paper, man. Yeah. let's
Okay.
go. All right.
Yeah. You grab the paper, and as you pick it up, you see Echo written on the outside of the paper.
I hand it over.
Okay.
Seems like you've got all that time.
Open the letter.
As you open it,
You just got
it's just got a few words sprawled on the inside. Thanks for the dance.
I thought she was Hush when they danced.
I was gonna say, and also Echo, what is it with you and these Dragonborn? I feel like you just keep making like not friends.
Or the best friends yet, maybe. Halceras quietly.
Okay, let's not get our hopes up there. Not get too far.
After, so, looking around, like I'm looking for another crate to maybe put this in, but do I see any other crates like this one hidden amongst my known cargo?
So you take a little bit longer, and now that you know what you're looking for, you don't see anything else like this here. You do, however, find more rat carcasses, another cat, and
Who brought their cat on this ship?
couple,
Captain, we need to work on this. Captain, no more cats on the ship.
and a couple
Okay.
more piles of fecal matter.
Okay, but if you do not have cat on board, then all you have are rats. So this is how you say
A wonderful
lady
source of
who-
protein. I agree.
well,
lady
no,
who
and-
swallow fly problem. So one eats other eats other. It's-
Yeah.
But why would you let the cat eat the rat that you could cook? I don't understand.
So you can cook
That's
the
fair.
rat. You cook the cat.
Hobgoblin
this, please.
dining.
Hobgoblins would just catch the rats themselves and eat them. Okay, yeah.
Sure. Pin in this. But it appears that maybe this little one is the only one on board. Thank the sovereign.
The Clawfoot starts nuzzling you, Echo. Like,
Oh my
trying to
God, yes.
rummage no, trying to rummage through your pouches and stuff.
Oh, I literally have nothing on me. Like,
Yeah,
We're just waiting for the
There's
a-
Daedalers to
Wait,
open doors.
not my notebook.
It is very clearly looking for food.
Yeah, food. Oh,
The
God.
only correct answer, Echo, is clever girl. Sorry.
Steer clear of my notebook. It has important notes.
It bites at it.
No. I'm gonna ask for more food and like kind of guide it. Let's get out of here so it can slowly get exposed to the rest of.
Well, I mean, it is wild animal, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
Well,
I look at it like a wild animal that ate two men's fingers.
That happens
I
a lot.
forgot about that.
I don't know. Animal trainers lose fingers all the time. It's a normal
Well,
occurrence.
we can. It's young enough to train. And if we get back, if we stop by the Talenta Plains, we can set it free. But until then, we gotta. It's home now, right? Right.
Yeah. And if it would make Halceres feel better, I have some ideas for ways we could keep it nearby and safe. And
So it is currently biting at your pants now, Echo.
Okay,
Like all this idea
let's
about we
not
can train it,
bite.
and it's just like tearing. things.
Yeah.
Like,
If
it
you
is-
want something
It's
to
like
chew on, here you
tugging
go.
on your clothing at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna like try and guide it with the jerky. Obviously, it needs like a proper meal, so we should.
As soon
focus
as you
on-
show it jerky, it wolfs it straight down.
Okay, yeah, you need proper food. So
and I think I might have the right thing upstairs. I think we have some fish we picked up on the drive. I think we can just. I think raw fish is a good option, right?
yeah.
So let's
All
go.
right.
Let's take it up to the mess deck at least and figure this out.
Captain, you might want to warn the fellow crew.
how about we fix its containing situation first, and then move it upstairs?
That might. I mean,
Well-
bring the container up with us because we can take it to the shop and I can fix it. That should be no
That
problem.
and if you claim that it's a wild animal, why does it have to be contained in a container?
Because it's a wild animal and will attack crew.
Still
Exactly.
not seeing the problem with this. I mean, we do have a couple of guys who need to learn to tie themselves off and not to put their hands in weird places. So
It doesn't seem fair. How would you like it if you were stuck in a box?
Wasn't that the same guy?
yeah, exactly.
Hey.
No,
I would probably ask or talk to the peoples.
Maybe you tried to communicate that it doesn't want to be in the box, and no one understood it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
how
sure
serious-
it did, but I'm sure it is also a danger to other people here.
So, Halsteaders, can I suggest an option here? We can move forward, we can put it in my shop on the mess deck, and we can lock it in there for a minute, and we can get this repaired, and then we can go through that. But I would like it sedated, which is why I want to take it and feed it some fish. But the container, the components that I need to sedate it are in my lab as well. So let's just move this conversation there, and we can figure this out.
We can sedate it, but I want it to be like, I don't want it to get worried when it's sedated. So like, do it.
It's like a sleep potion.
Nonchalantly.
Can I?
I'm thinking
try something?
a big tuna dinner with some sleep potion in it.
That's fine.
I don't know if this will work because it's an animal, but I'm gonna look at it like gnawing on Echo's clothes, and I'm gonna cast suggestion on it.
Okay. It needs to understand you, right? For suggestion.
Didn't we try this with the elf at
understandable.
one point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, you try it.
Okay.
What do you say to it?
I say, stop biting people. Be good, Clawfoot.
It goes down and starts biting at Echo's boot.
Okay. Isn't my boot resistant to like tear because of the?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's still just like latching on, and
that's fine.
Fine.
It's resistant. It's cool.
Fine, we will move it. Is fine. I would like it restrained. So use the more of that rope. Just tie it. So and then carry it.
I can tie it to the back of Biscuit. Biscuit can carry it.
Sure. Or if Echo wants to carry it, I just want it secured in case it tries to run.
Hold on, and I take off my left hand gauntlet and I give it to Echo. I'm like, you might need something over your hands to carry that thing.
All right, buddy, let's go, and I'll like kind of scoop it up.
How are you? Okay, so you're scooping it up under your arm.
Basically like the baby T-Rex from Lost World. So it's all just like tied up.
Okay.
But I'll like keep like giving it scratches or like petting it, and then I'll feed it jerky before that, so it knows my scent, knows my touch, and understands my body language.
Okay. So where are you bringing your new found friend?
Buddy.
Steele's workshop.
Steele's workshop. Okay. As you all head that way, while you're walking through the ship, Taryn, you suddenly get a voice in your head. You need to meet me alone in your room.
That's not weird or creepy at all. And
only you seem to have heard this.
All right, that's
say
fun.
something too.
You didn't hear that? No, just me. All right, guess I'm going senile before it's my time. Anyway, I'll be going this way while you guys head over there.
All right.
And I take a spin and I just head.
Insight check. I'm kidding.
You are distracted. I am knowing Echo. You are focused 100%
like, okay,
on your
bye.
new friend. Halceris is probably more concerned about this thing being loose on the ship at the moment. Yeah. All right.
And I go to meet this mysterious voice wherever.
Okay. So we'll get back to you in a minute.
Ooh.
So you guys get to Steele's workshop.
Yeah, I think I'll let them have it. Halceris is going to tell the rest of the crew what it was, that it's been contained.
Okay.
Yada yada. So I'm just informing the others.
You're gonna actually flat out tell them it was a clawfoot, a baby clawfoot. Okay.
Do I know? Like, in world, what I know, is it like illegal? Is it like poaching, or is it like animal trafficking, or like have one?
Yeah, it kind of is like animal trafficking. For it to be out here, they're mainly all primarily located in the Talenta Plains. Yep. Typically, anybody that has one out this side of Corvair either got it illegally or paid a very, very high price for it.
Gotcha.
And probably has to have permits and all that.
So I'll inform Richter and the other like actual like important crew members, and just have the rest of them know that it was taken care of.
Okay.
Big pest.
Yep. So while you're going around doing that, Steel and Echo, you guys are at the workshop. And every time you stop giving this thing jerky, it starts chewing at your clothing again.
Okay. Need to move on from just jerky, so it's exposed to other foods.
I swing by the kitchen and I grab a 6 to 10 ounce tuna steak, and I'm gonna take it to the workshop. I mean, bigger than this thing probably could eat, but hopefully the idea is a combination of some medicinals and a really big tuna dinner. This thing will take a cat nap. And I'm going to go into my herbalist supplies. I have a I'm going to try to grab some different ingredients. I'm going to create a potion of sleep.
Okay, so potion of sleep is something that's probably going to take you about 8 hours to do.
Okay. I assume for an uncommon item it'd be more like, with my current proficiency, like an hour to a half an hour, or half an hour to an hour. But
that would be more your common stuff.
Okay. Can I? Well, then I'll just grab some of the herbal components, and I'll make a dry rub for this tuna. Some what am I thinking? Some chamomile and a couple of
couple melatonin gummies just all around.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, can I do some? I mean, would that be a Arcana to figure out if I can make?
So it would be an herbalism check.
Medicine.
Okay.
So yeah, either medicine,
with my kit,
or for you it would be intelligence. Your basically your spell casting modifier is what we'll use.
Yeah, it plus my
plus your proficiency.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I'm gonna roll it as Arcana because it's the same thing. Because I don't have the.
Okay.
I don't know how to roll that in here.
Yep. No, that's fine. Okay, you put together a pretty what you think is a pretty decent rub for it.
And I'm going to take the box that we brought up, and I'm just going to set the steak inside, and I'm going to say, Echo, if you want to let him in, we'll see how he does.
All right, buddy. Let's like trying to guide him towards where Steel needs him to be.
So because you've been feeding him this whole time and he's still hungry, he follows you towards where he believes food is. And as soon as he gets a whiff of this small steak, he jumps right in and starts tearing into it. It's taking him a little bit longer this time to eat it. What are you guys doing while it's in there eating?
Just watching.
Okay.
How much of the original container is still there?
It's missing a whole side.
It's just missing a side.
Yeah, it's all broken from falling, probably from a good 6 or 7 foot height.
I'm going to use my artificer ability, and I'm going to create some woodworker's tools so that I have proficiency in that for a minute.
Okay. Yep.
And I say a minute, it's until I get rid of them. But
Yeah.
and I'm going to go ahead and start putting together a side to go on the side of this crate with some little bars along the side, so he can stick his little head out if need be.
Okay.
And I'm going to reinforce all the corners with like the fancy trunk corners with the solid metal fasteners.
So it's going to be it's going to be an intelligence plus 2 proficiency to this, so you can use your arcana again. Okay. So with the 16, you put it together while it's still tearing into the stake. And you're pretty confident in what you've done here. It seems to get about 3/4 of the way through the stake, and then it doesn't start acting drowsy. It just kind of stops, picks up and starts just looking around. It starts kind of doing its little chirping noises again.
Is it not potent enough?
Maybe not, but he seems pretty docile to me. How about you?
Is he calm?
He seems to be kind of calm now, just kind of... It's hard to really judge the emotions of an animal, but it's like, I'm in here again. It's a little different though, but I'm here again. And then it just kind of starts pushing some of the hay around and just kind of plops down and seems to be content at the moment.
I'm gonna kind of pet it and
pet it through the bars.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll reach in.
We also, I would say, so I'm gonna grab some something that a chew toy that that Biscuit has lying around, like a what's the ones with like a cow hoof or something like that. Like you can get the chew bits. I'm gonna just toss that in there, see if he's at all interested in just biting something.
It's teething.
So he kind of looks at it, looks down, just kind of seems disinterested at the moment.
Well, we at least have a container. He seems pretty docile in there, and there's still food in there for him, so...
Yeah, there's probably about 1/4 of that 6-ounce steak that you grabbed. With all the jerky he's had from the cargo hold to there, and then that bit of the steak. He seems content for now.
Maybe we, instead of sedating, if we keep this is awful for me to say because I normally want them to be free and wild, but given the circumstances, pay no mind to what I'm saying. But keep every time we feed it, if we if we feed it a little bit of sedative or something to just kind of keep it calm.
Interesting. Coming from the shifter barbarian.
I know, I goes
gray
everything
over
I
here.
believe in, but again, given the circumstances, I don't want to alarm the crew. Just kind of give it exposure there, and let it get used to surroundings, let us get used to it, and then take it day by day.
So while you all are wrangling your new baby clawfoot friend, and how Saris is going around talking to the leaders of the crew of your ship, letting them know what was going on, Taryn, you approach your room on the ship. As you open the door and walk in, do you have a bed or a hammock on your ship.
On the ship or in my room?
So in your quarters on the ship.
I guess. Bed.
A bed? Okay.
Bed.
Sitting in the middle of your bed, you see an elongated package. Probably maybe 5 or so feet long and kind of about maybe 4 inches by 4 inches. Almost the length of a quarterstaff. All wrapped up with twine and paper. And as you walk into the room and close the door behind you, you see a little bit of stirring on the corner of your bed. And you see what you didn't catch at first, but a figure sitting cross-legged, sitting on your bed with a hood pulled down.
So I'll guess that you're the one that the mysterious voice belonged to.
Yes, been looking for you for a little time now. And you see 2 hands. The skin is almost a grayish purple. Reaches up, grabs the hood, and pulls the hood up, revealing the face of what looks to be a young elvish female with the gray purplish skin and just white long hair flowing down to her back. You recognize her as a drow elf. She looks at you with dark red eyes. Been looking for you for a little time now.
I move more into the room, and instinctively my hand just drifts towards like my dagger.
Oh, you won't be needing that. I'm not here to hurt you.
Yeah, that's what they all say. But do it with a pleasure.
I was sent here to warn you.
All right, sent by who and to be warned about what?
So somebody who knows you're bonded very well. To warn you of the assassins sent after you.
No. A lot of things have been after me lately, so tell them join the queue.
They're closer than you think. What are you doing? Are you approaching? Are you standing still?
I'm walking like into the room, I guess, just slowly walking into the room. And not full eye contact, not taking eyes off of her, and just kind of walking across the bed to get more into the room.
Okay.
And give towards the package.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Huh. 20.
Okay. With the 20, you're looking at her and kind of the package. You don't see any weapons or anything like that on her. As you approach closer, you see your name on the package. You also see your sister's name on the package.
Suspicion rises. So who are you? Didn't quite catch your name the first time.
Oh yes, I often forget my courtesies. My name is Tirani. My bonded sent me to you.
Right. Oh, okay. So your bonded knows my bonded sent you to me to warn me about the assassins that are after me.
Oh
Can
yes,
you-
my bonded was very close to Carson.
Well, I suppose that checks out. Um, any other information? Anything else that I need to know?
They are tracking this. And she kind of slides the package towards you a little bit. They were due to arrive in Shan the day after you departed. The Fang sisters have been sent to end you.
Do I know who these Fang sisters are?
You have never heard of them. And you, in the circles you kind of worked with before all of this happened, you've known some of the big named assassins throughout Corvair. Like there's some of the big ones you've heard of. Fang sisters you've never heard of.
Never heard of them. Oh, they new. Trying to get their feet wet with a, I guess, a big name. You know, try to prove themselves.
No, they're not new. Maybe new to Corvair. But back home, they are the deadliest pair of shadow blades the Drow have.
Now it's all making sense. All right. Well, if the Shadow Blades want to play in the darkness, they're more than welcome to give it a shot.
Well, next time you speak with Carson, please pass on that Selena sends her regards. She does miss him so.
Well, once again, another name that I've never heard. But all right, I'll send you a message along.
Well, now that my mission is done, I suppose I should depart. You got an interesting group of friends here.
Yeah, they're a real special bunch, aren't they?
You see her reach up, she grabs her hood, starts to pull it back over her head. What are you doing? You approaching the package still?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab the package. The cause for concern is slowly dissipating. Not as on guard, but still wary, but not as on guard. And I'll just go grab the package.
Okay. As you reach down to grab the package, she reaches her hand out and grabs your hand. She grabs you by the wrist. Do you try to resist or pull away?
No. Nah, I just look up. Just look at my hand and just look up with a raised eyebrow.
So, as her hand wraps around your wrist, your vision just flashes and you see Carson out on a grass field in what looks to be some sort of wedding ceremony. Looks like there's a priest there, Carson, and a drow woman that look like they are being married. And then it flashes back and you're there again as she lets go of your wrist. And then you see her form just start to fade away.
Oh, all right.
And then she's gone.
Thanks for the warning, I guess. Well, that's another.
Looking at the package, you see your sister's name on it. You open it up and you see your family scimitar, which is now available for you to add to your character sheet in Shard. As the package that you requested from your sister has finally caught up with you. But there may be something going on with it, as you were just warned that these assassins are tracking it, trying to find you. And we're going to get into that in the future, as that is a good place for us to go ahead and stop for the evening. As a storm, dark omens, and new friend, maybe a couple of stowaways on the ship have revealed themselves, and we'll see where things go next week when we come back on Dirty Deeds. Before we go ahead and call it an evening for tonight, though, we do have a few things going on here coming up here at Games Tavern that we need to tell you about.
Yeah, if you liked our stuff, be sure to check out the other shows we have here at the Games Tavern. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, you can catch Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. And they continue as our stalwart adventurers continue their travels to the city of Neverwinter. What bad decisions will they make this time? You can also check out the Omega Files on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's our Call of Cthulhu game set in a modern era. Mysteries, intrigue, and danger loom around every corner for whatever brave soul shows up.
Oh, I think you are muted.
I am muted,
Yep.
but I stopped myself. I was fully aware. Don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. Subscribing is free, and you don't miss any of the action. And you get access to all of our shows. So if you want to catch up on, all the many things that Steel has created over this crazy adventure, and all the pets we've tried to collect. We tried to collect a fire elemental. There's so many things. You can go catch up on all of that over on YouTube, and all these other wonderful shows are also there, so please go do that. And subscribe, like, leave a comment, do all the nice things. We appreciate it.
All right. What else? So I think we got who's our lead sponsor for tonight there, Echo?
As always, it's Shard Tabletop. Thank you so much, Shard, for sponsoring our show. Please go to the link in chat to check it out yourself and use code TGTShard20 to get your 20% discount on your DM Pro and other subscriptions. Before you ask, that is a 20% discount.
So, and a couple other quick last minute things that have come up here recently at the Games Tavern. So it looks like this Saturday, we are actually launching a new show here at the Games Tavern. It's a new Star Wars campaign set millennia before the Galactic Civil War, as the Jedi Order first begins to take on the role of peacekeeper that so intertwined them with the Republic. So we're doing a new Star Wars campaign kicking off. Let's see. So starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, we're bringing first nights to the Games Tavern. And then also, though, Saturday morning, we are actually doing a charity dungeon crawl it's going to go from 10 to 3. And let me pull this back up here. So Air Ukraine Winter Crisis Fund. We're trying to raise money to help out people out in Ukraine who, obviously with everything going on with the war over there and all that, people are deposed there, and they've having one of the worst winters they've had in 30 years. So there's a lot of people trying to get out, trying to find shelter and stuff like that. And so we're trying to help do what we can to help the individuals out there get through the really hard times they're having. So come join us for that. You're going to see some of us and some people, some of the other cast from Whiskey Magic Destruction out there. doing what we can to try to help our fellow human beings get through this world and this planet. With that being said, though, we look forward to seeing you all next time and next week when we come back for more dirty deeds. Stay dirty, everyone.